about the Assistance League in a very strange way. I was an early childhood special education teacher at the Valley Park Elementary School when the wife of my husband's IBM manager came walking down the hall. And I'd only met her a couple of times, but I did recognize her. And I asked what she was doing there. And she was carrying a great big plastic tube bag of clothes. And I thought, what in the world? And so she told me, and that's how I got introduced to the Assistance League. Well, hearing about the work of this organization, I said to myself, now when I grow up and retire, I want to be part of an organization like that. 2 weeks later, I received an invitation in the mail inviting me to find out about the Assistance League Auxiliary. And I joined, of course. It was such a great feeling at that time to know that there were other like-minded women like me and generous, very generous women that I could be with once a month. Teaching in Valley Park was really tough. It was a very low-income school. I don't know if any of you here were able to help the children get clothing. Raise your hand if anybody got to go to Valley Park School. You did? Oh, yay, good, 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 good. So you can understand how I like being with auxiliary women. The auxiliary would meet at 7 o'clock at the Edward Jones Westport headquarters, okay? And they would meet the first Monday of every month, and we would meet in the evening. And a member of the Chapter Auxiliary Relations Committee, CAR, everything had to have initials, would join us to update our chapter activities, and it was Mary Alice Long. I know I've not seen her in years. Members often came directly from work, and we would dine on snacks, and before our business meeting, we were able to decide on our philanthropic projects. The first one being My Own Fun Stuff and Operation Pack Backers. We got it there? Yeah, there it is, okay. Now I ask you, what does the fire department, Smokey the Bear, and the St. Louis County Library all have in common? Can you guess? Anybody? What do those 3 organizations have in common? You're not going to believe it. Free coloring books. Free. The fire department had free coloring books, okay? The county library had free coloring books, and in order to get them, they were their summer projects. My husband borrowed my son's truck. 3 of my grandchildren, we went over there to Lindbergh, to that big location, and loaded up the truck with boxes and boxes of coloring books that they had never given out. So you gotta be resourceful. Okay. These coloring books were a vital source for our My Own Fun Stuff packets. My Own Fun Stuff originated from a response from hospital emergency room personnel that they could really use something while families were waiting in the emergency room to keep their children active. We had very limited funds, so we had to be creative. Rockwood's Reservation was celebrating Smokey the Bear's 50th birthday that year. All over the United States, they were celebrating his 50th birthday, and they gave us coloring books, rulers, stickers, and even yo-yos to put in our packets. The first year we delivered 200 packets to 3 hospitals. One was Barnes Jewish, Children's, and St. Luke's, and there they are, the important people at Barnes. Okay, first we decided to use plastic Ziploc baggies, just like this. We thought we were being so smart. Until we discovered that the nurses were having to cut off the corners of these bags. Can you know why? Right, in case the children would put them over their heads and suffocate. So, just like what Jan said, we just had to really rely on simple things. Luckily, my husband's fraternity brother was working for a large envelope company here in St. Louis, and he was able to donate paper envelopes for us. Operation Packbackers correlated with the Operation School Bell, and we filled the backpacks with school supplies, and chapter members distributed them to the children as part of the OSB dressing. I don't know who that is. Does anybody know? Okay, yeah. Since we were all working during the week, we found that we were able to do things in the evenings and on the weekends to support the chapter activities, and I volunteered on Saturdays at Primetime Treasures. I love Primetime Treasures. Bought a lot of things there, like Jan said, we tend to buy things. And then as a teacher, I could help out in the summer and almost got to go in once a week, and I had to learn how to use a cash register. I also worked an evening shift at Gingerbread Village from like 6 to 9 in the night, and that's where I met Rosie Saladin. Do you see her there? She's back. She doesn't look much different. My favorite activity at Gingerbread Village was the storytelling corner, and because I had large posters of the story from my classroom, I really enjoyed telling the story of the gingerbread man. I can. Auxiliary members wanted to experience really working directly with children, so one Saturday we arranged for parents from the International Institute to ride on a bus, and they would bring their children to the Westport headquarters to receive traditional clothing and backpacks. There it is, okay. It was a little challenging because while the children could speak English, their mothers could not. But the mothers let their children know what they liked and didn't like. In the spring of 1995, we held our first fundraiser. It was a Derby Day party at Forest Hills Country Club. We invited our husbands, and friends, and chapter members. We did have oral auction items, but on a much smaller scale than what we do today. I was able to persuade my nephew to donate his time as a fishing guide at the Lake of the Ozark, and some sweet husband actually bid $300 for it, and that was our largest bid. Our next idea for raising money was decorating a dollhouse, which was donated by Lou Jones. I hope some of you remember Lou Jones. We worked on the dollhouse during the evenings in her basement for many weeks, and when we completed it, we sold raffle tickets to the chapter members and guests so they could win it at the Gingerbread Village preview party. Now, after 10 years, our Gateway Auxiliary membership was declining, and we voted to dissolve it in 2002. The chapter terminated Operation Packbackers, but adopted My Own Fun Stuff as one of the philanthropic programs. And at that time, My Own Fun Stuff was sending 6,000 kits to emergency rooms. Over the years, the contents of the kits changed. An A.L. Bear coloring book was created by one of our members, and a second type of activity kit was created for adults. Kits were distributed to nursing homes, abuse shelters, and the St. Louis Public Schools transition for homeless children. So that simple idea, and look what it turned into. In 2021, the chapter decided that My Own Fun Stuff was not the most impactful way to use our resources, and the program was terminated. But I was so very proud to have been My Own Fun Stuff and watch it grow over the years from 200 packets to, in 2021, 18,000. When the Gateway Auxiliary dissolved in 2002, I had just retired from teaching and could become an active member. I got to be the chairman of My Own Fun Stuff for many years. And I didn't put this in here, but I got to tell you, when we were at Highway 40 and 141, we literally had to store everything in the boys' restroom. And we used donated shopping bags to get them to the hospitals. There's a lot of other things I could tell you, but it would take a long time. Okay. It is my hope that all of you members of Assistance League will make some best friends, as I have over all these years. In fact, 5 of us go hiking every Wednesday morning, and that's because at a luncheon, I met a lady named Deneen Ebert, and she asked me, would you ever like to go hiking and camping? And I said, yeah, okay. And just last week, we did. We were camping and hiking. Thank you, Deneen Ebert. Look at her wave.